students of class 11. This is the first class for this year for history, and I am Ma'am Navina and I will be teaching you history. So I very warmly welcome all the class 11 students and wish you all to have a prosperous secondary education in our school. So in the beginning of this class, I am not going to do on with the syllabus, but I'll just introduce you with the subject history. As I know that mainly all of you may have been taking history as a part of social science, okay, in your class 9 and 10. So I want you to introduce you with the subject history. What is history? Okay. If I would have been in the class face to face with you all, I would be asking you questions and there would be many answers. I believe so. But today it's not possible. We are going to have video session classes. So my first question is, what is history? Okay. So it's very simple. Many people say history means his story. His story here doesn't mean only a person's story. It's the story about everything, maybe living or non-living also. Okay. So it's in simple way it's correct. But what story? Story mainly here means about the past. Okay. Man learns from his past is known as history. Okay. What does he learn? He learns from all the activities and how these activities influence man, and when it is influenced, how he can develop and progress and make his present and future better or best is known as history. Okay, so history is a study of past activities of a society, okay, to develop and progress and make a better place to live in this world. Okay, because knowing is there. One who knows the past, he can control his future. Okay, so as we see, when we do some mistakes in our past, we don't repeat it. If we repeat it, it means that we have not learned anything from that mistake. Okay, that's why we are repeating it. So history is study of past. Okay, now what does history provides us? It provides us account of the ways how society has changed. Okay, how the early people used to live. You must have heard so many stories or facts and incidents from people. Okay, so how the society had changed, how we from early man we have come to this stage of modern man, isn't it? So many development took place. When I take a small example of man's means of communication for transporting things, he did not know about wheel. He came to know about wheel. From wheel, then different other vehicles came up, and now we can see other aircrafts are there. We can go to space also through the help of rocket and how man has developed, and those all development is the effect of learning from his past. Okay, so that was one example. History, it also helps us to identify ourselves, that from who we are, from where we have come. Okay, when you study history, you'll come to know, okay, who we are, from where we have come. All these we come to know when we study history. Okay, then history gives us an opportunity to analyze and determine what actually occurred during a certain event or certain time. Okay, it helps us to examine, it helps us to critically think what had happened, why it had happened, how it had happened. All these we come to know in history. Okay, so now another point is who named history and from where this word has come. So history comes from the Greek word known as historia. Okay, H-I-S-T-O-R-I-A, historia. Historia means learning or knowing by inquiry. Okay, to learn and to know by the help of inquiry. Inquiry here means to question. Okay, to question. Question here doesn't mean a limited question like who, when, where. Those are just limited. So it's a question which is elaborate question. Questions like how, why and how. Okay, so when we go to why and how, it becomes a critical questioning as well as to examine, okay, some event or some person or anything. Okay, so that inquiry means historia or history. So history is derived from the word, which word? Greek word historia. Okay, and now from when we started to learn history, who is the one who brought history as a subject, as a discipline to be studied? So he is only one. He is the Greek historian and his name is Herodotus. Okay, his name is Herodotus. You can see his picture here. Herodotus, he was a Greek historian. He belonged to the year 550 to 479 BC. Now, why he is known as father of history? He was the only person who wrote the history of Greco-Persian War. Okay, Greco-Persian War, and he wrote this history very accurately, all the events accurately, chronologically, without being biased. Okay, very faithfully he wrote the history of this war between the Greeks and the Persians. So that is why he was the first one to record it, and that is why he is known as father of history. Okay, so we came to know what is history, from where the history word has been derived, and who is the father of history. Now we come to, as we study history, now you must be wondering, then we know about history. Why do we need to study history? Why are we having history as a subject in our education? Okay, so that is need of history. Why do we need to study history? That is, number one, there are many reasons. Okay, and very good reasons are there. Number one, history makes people courageous. Okay, they become powerful. They have the ability to take risk. Okay, and they study the past to make better future in every field. Okay, they study, they investigate politics, culture, language, health, when different wars, conflicts. Okay, and learning from these past, they can become a good person for administration. Okay, you can become a good businessman because you learn from your past activities, you learn from others' past activities, others' failures also we can learn. Okay, so that is one reason for learning history, or there is a what is the importance of history. Number two, history helps us to see the bigger picture of the world. Okay, bigger picture. History helps us see the bigger picture. What is your meaning of bigger picture? In history, we study many sources. Okay, sources here means proofs. Okay, without any proof, we cannot study history. We cannot know about anything. Okay, like suppose for Indus Valley civilization, I think you must have heard Indus Valley civilization which flourished in the banks of river Indus. Okay, so here in this civilization we don't have any written record. Okay, written record here means any book or documentary, nothing is there in written. If it's there in written also, the script cannot be studied, the script cannot be deciphered. Okay, still now nobody can understand what is the script. No, we cannot learn the script. Okay, it yet has to be deciphered. So how we come to know that that time civilization had flourished in this period? Okay, the civilization was there. So people have, the historians or the archaeologists have found out through the help of excavation, okay, some artifacts. Okay, artifacts here means things made by man of that period. Okay, of that period, such like toys, jewelry, ornaments. Okay, so these become the proof that these people, they used to wear ornaments, they used to play toys, and in the toys they have found some cart also, bullock cart. So we come to know from that in that period, okay, people were having transport system with the help of cart. Okay, if we would have found a car toy, we would also be knowing that, oh, that time these people, they knew about car also. Okay, so that is how we need sources and learn the events which often have complex causes. Okay, so when we study history, we find that everything is interrelated to one another. Okay, and history gives us a more balanced outlook of the world. Okay, when we learn history, when we know history, we study history, we find that the whole world is interrelated to one another. Okay, when we find out questions with the help of inquiry, with the help of why and how, we see that every thing is related to one another. Every society also is related to one another. We'll find how trade was related to one another. Okay, there are some coins being found in certain places of India, okay, in different place, and that has shown us, made us learn that that time trade was flourishing, economic development was there. Okay, next one, when we study history, another importance of studying history is that it gives us loads of skills. Loads of skills here means it makes us efficient, it makes us skillful, because now we have we don't be fearful to take risk of asking questions, okay, which may be critical questions, okay, or having some examinations of those questions, okay, by asking questions like why and how. When you ask questions like why and how, it gives us loads of skills. Loads of skills here means it makes us efficient, it makes us skillful, because now we have we don't be fearful to take risk of asking questions, okay, which may be critical questions, okay, or having some examinations of those questions, okay, by asking questions like why and how. When you ask questions like why and how, okay, it needs skilled quality is needed when you ask questions like why and how. Okay, so this why and how, it enables us to gain loads of important skills, and that is through the help of critical thinking and analysis. Analysis here means by detailed examination. Examination is taken. It's proof. We search for proof. Okay, whether the thing was correct or not. And Next one, and this make us helps if you are skillful for asking questions by the help of critical thinking and detailed examination. It helps you or us to solve problems in our life, okay, and it also helps us to write essay type of articles or any writings, okay. So next one again, history leads to loads of careers. Many people may be thinking, oh, history if I take, I don't think there is any job I cannot do any job in my life. But that is a wrong notion. It's a wrong idea. History leads us to loads of careers, okay. As you become fearless, as you become efficient, skilled, okay, in asking questions, then there are different types of careers, okay. They may be like, you can join for law, okay, you can become an advocate or a lawyer. You can join politics, a politician. You can do marketing. You can be a teacher, okay. Then you can join journalism. As you can see how journalists and reporters, they dig on, hunt on certain events by asking questions, okay, following that person or persons involved in certain events. Then you can join insurance company or in economics also, and thus you can build up your career, okay. So that are some of the important points that will help you in when you learn history, or why there is need of history, okay. Now here after that we'll come to know that what are the branches of history, okay. History is a very vast subject. There are different history, but now history has been divided into 3 groups, okay. That is prehistory, proto-history and history. Prehistory, proto-history and history. So what is this prehistory, proto-history and history? Prehistory is a history which has no written records, okay. There is no written record, and historians, they have to search on sources. As I said, sources are needed to learn history, to know history. Some proofs are needed. So this prehistory, there are no written records. So how do the historians write history of this age? Like I told about Indus Valley civilization, they find out through the help of excavations these artifacts, okay. These are the artifacts. Artifacts means things made by the help of man with their own hand, without applying any machine, okay, like weapons, okay, then toys, jewelry, all these, pottery, sculpture. So these are the sources which help us, or helps the historian to write history of that period. So that period is known as prehistory. Now next one is proto-history. Proto-history, okay. What is proto-history? Proto-history is the time period of history written between the prehistory and history period, and for this there is also very less written record, okay. Records are there, written scripts are there, but those scripts are not yet deciphered. Deciphered, D-E-C-I-P-H-E-R-E-D, deciphered means not yet studied, okay. When you see this picture here, okay, you can see some letters are there, but these letters are not understandable. You cannot read it, you cannot make out what is written. So this type of scriptures have been found of certain periods, okay, certain scripts are found. Okay, ancient languages, Brahmi, Krosti, all these. Some have been studied, some cannot be till now. Okay, so this period comes under proto-history. Okay, and next one, the last branch is history. History branch is a branch where we can find many written records. Okay, many written records have been found, and these written records are systematic. Systematic here means in chronological order. Chronological means in calendar order, in sequence. Okay, serially, orderly, all things have been written, so that period is known as history. Okay, so these may be like all these Bhojapatra literary works, literary sources like Vedas, yeah, Gita also, Bible, Quran. Okay, you can see this literary work. Okay, this is Kautilya's Arthashastra. Okay, Kautilya's Arthashastra, which is very helpful till now also for administration and governance. Okay, as we find from the Mughal period also, the Ain-e-Akbari, okay, written by Abul Fazl. It's also a very good help for writing history of Mughal period. Okay, so these type of the systematic record period is the branch where we study history. So history has three branches: prehistory, proto-history and history. Okay, so that is all for you for the introduction, and in between in the book you will come across some terms like timeline. What is timeline? Timeline, it represents the occurrence of events in a sequence. Timeline you will come across. Okay, so timeline is occurrence of any events in a sequence, orderly, chronologically. Chronology also same thing, is the arrangement of events or dates in the order of their occurrence. Okay, in calendar order. You cannot write World War II came before World War I. Okay, so in order, when it is written, it is known as chronological. Like death cannot come before birth. You cannot write death of a king before his birth. Okay, so that all. Then comes decipher. I already told you, decipher word means how to find out the meaning of something. Okay, maybe mainly inscriptions or scripts. Okay, scripts inscribed on the walls of a temple or on a pillar. Okay, like Ashoka pillar and all. Okay, some writings are there which has been deciphered, some has not been yet deciphered. So that is the meaning of decipher. Okay, so today I end up here for the first class of introduction of history, and in the next class, in the next video session, we will start with the syllabus, the first lesson, that is from the beginning of time. Okay, and I think you all must have already, you have received your textbooks. You can just review the first chapter from the beginning of time. Okay, how we will be learning what is our identity, who are we, from where have we come. Okay, so that all will be studying in that first chapter. Okay, from the beginning of time, from the beginning of history we will learn. So that's all. All take care, stay safe, and very soon we'll meet in the next video session. Thank you.